drag racers out there. This is NHRA 1975. It's September 7th, 2025, and I'm just going to make an update video on kind of all the short videos I've putting out so that you guys can all know what's all going on. First of all, took the car out to the track, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it ran a new best, 659 in the 8th at 102 miles an hour with a 1.430 60 foot. So it's really rocking now. I mean, that's pretty fast from what I can tell. I also bracket raced for the first time in 6 years. So let me repeat that. I've been saying how I wanted to bracket race. I did bracket race this year, so that's great. I didn't go any rounds, but I did bracket race, so that's great. That's some progress. The first round, basically what happened was I went to stage up against the guy and the engine cut out. I'll talk about that later, or something with the carb. So I timed out, so I didn't even get a chance to really run. The next day, I was still having problems with that damn cutting out and stalling. And to compensate for that, I did a little bit of the 2-pedal, meaning 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the accelerator so it doesn't die. And it's really weird. It's only happening during staging at like low RPMs. The car runs fine with it going down the track. So anyways, I dialed the 660, and also I screwed up. I didn't go in the groove enough, or the proper area. So when I got out of the hole to chase the guy, he was running at about a 748. I went little right, little left, and then again, like, it just staging was all screwed up in your head and everything because you're 2-footing it and you're trying not to let that car die. Anyways, I ran a 65 on a 60, and he killed some, and then I think he ran maybe a 50 or something, or a 49. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't bother buying back because the carb problem isn't not really making it stageable. But at least if I don't race this year, bracket race, I'd like to try to do bracket races again this year, but not, who knows. So anyways, I guess another positive out of the past race weekend was the stall converter actually works when you shift it at 6,800 RPM. So I'll show the video now of it what's happening with the stall, with the RPM when shifting at 6,800. So as you can tell, there's actually an RPM drop. When you drift at 6,800, it goes down like 400 RPM. Whereas before, when I shifted at 6,100, it was pretty much staying the same. So it works. The stock converter works. I just needed to shift it higher. Now it doesn't work optimally. There's a guy named Hutch Transmissions. He's in London, Ontario, and I talked to him on the phone. Really good guy. I'll put his website in the description there. And he's the guy who suggested shifting at 6,800, and essentially he's telling me what, if I really wanted to one day, I could go in, like, with an 8-inch Opal style converter, and it would be more efficient, but it's not going to make a huge difference. It won't make a difference. So when I'm starting to refine the combo and want to spend more money, which I really can't now, I might get a converter from him. I also talked to a place out in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and they were good too. TCS transmissions or automatics or something like that. Anyways, there's another place called TCS that does fabrication, I think, in Oregon. But anyways, if you guys want to check out some of these places for Canadians, and there's all these tariffs and crap going on, they're pretty good. But anyway, so I'm gonna leave. End of story. I'm gonna leave the stall converter in there because it works for now. When I want to go faster, I'll spend the money. Okay, another thing that's great is the 60-foot really improved at 1.430. I think I was before maybe even low 1.5s, maybe a 4.9. So the Viking shocks in the back, I think, really helped. Um, they really helped control the springs in the back as well. I changed the front shock settings to 60/40, and that also, I think, prevented the front end from lifting up too quickly and putting a big load on the back and then making it even harder to control. So anyways, but I didn't get a video of it launching because it was just me at the track with this camera, so with the GoPro inside. So I'm hoping next weekend perhaps I can get someone to videotape me, or whatever it's called these days, of getting this thing under launch and seeing what's happening. And then I can set it to Viking. They're pretty good. They can tell me what's wrong, and I can also obviously evaluate it too, but you need that video. The fuel pressure reading improved as well, so before, when I would go down to 3 sometimes and really fluctuate, that's gone. I think with the things I changed, like I changed the vent line, and I changed the wiring to the pump so it's more direct and it's a better relay. So those two things may have really helped to make the fuel system improved. Now there's still some room, I think, because there's still a little fluctuation, and someone was telling me on one of the message forums that it could be because my return line is up top. So I'll show you that. Oh yeah, my return line's there, and he was saying it should be down there. And that was because of the aeration factor. So the guy in line was saying maybe there's air coming in from the top, and if you move to the bottom it would be better. It's worth a try. I think I have that the line there, or the AN hose I have on the return. I could just swap it, maybe even, it would be great, but we'll see. That's for later. So anyways, the fuel system, the fuel pressure really, the reading improved, so the system's improved. There's still a few things I'd like to do though. Perhaps over the winter, some guys have been bugging me, I should get rid of all this jankiness here and just put 2 direct AN hoses here and here, and then come down here with the regulator around here. I don't know, I don't really want to do that now because this doesn't leak, and I don't think that's the problem there with my carb issue that I've been talking about. I think it's just the idle circuit needs to be tuned a bit better. Anyways, I'll get to that. Okay, so the big problem I had the past weekend was this carburetor, not this particular carburetor. This one here was cutting out. Just after staging, like I show it in the video, maybe, I think I showed it to you guys already. But anyway, so I think there's something with the idle circuit, needs to be tuned or whatever. So I guess one of the obvious things is someone said try this, because sometimes these vents, they leak out, and then that can creates too much fuel, and that ends up cutting the motor. So I'm gonna try that, as well as just simple settings. So these idle screw mixture screws, I'll turn those out some more, as well as the curb idle a little bit more. That's what someone was recommending, the guy who tuned some of the carb. So I'll try that. I have a vacuum gauge, and of course, like, I mean, with this kind of engine, when I ran it, there was barely any vacuum. You'd be lucky it was just past that black block there. So someone was saying if it flutters a lot, maybe you can tune it by it fluttering less, not necessarily increasing the vacuum levels, but the needle fluttering less. So maybe I'll try that, I don't know. Okay, so I kind of attacked the problem here by just doing the thing of swapping parts. I was down in Toronto, Ontario, on a little vacation to see Toronto Blue Jays game and this and that with some family. And anyways, I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. Now, this carburetor was probably not a purchase that was necessary, okay? Let's face the facts. But I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm down there, I'm like, oh man, maybe if I get this will help. So anyways, I found this on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, I'll try this carburetor out. if the other one doesn't work. I'll have it at the track. It'll be all ready to go. I can swap it. So at least, you know, this one might have the same problem. Then I know it's something in the fuel system, but at least this is a way of diagnosing it. And this carburetor is, as you can tell, it's gone through by Pro Systems. Now, it's honestly too big for my application. This thing's about 1300 CFM. I think so. It's too much for a 565. But I think it's at least going to give me an idea if the idle circuit does or doesn't work. You know, so if I go to the track next time and that thing's doing the same thing, even if I've made the adjustments, I can swap this and maybe I can still at least race. So it's a pretty we'll see what happens. And yeah, and the other one, I'm just, as you said, I'll just try to tune it here. I'll probably put this one back on and try to tune as much as I can. And then, yeah, bring this to the track and do that. Now, I'm hoping that I can make it to the track soon. Hoping September 13th at Napierville Dragway. The guy who did all those videos, he does videos locally called Subdivision Auto. I'll put his link in the description. He's been wanting to get videos of this car as well as another car that are like pure drag cars at the track, and supposedly there's a chance we're gonna go to Naperville and do that. So I'll go along for sure. I'll bring it out there. Naperville for you guys. It's a track that's south of Montreal, Quebec, around 3 hours. It's a pretty cool track. I was there with this car back in 2011, and I actually did pretty well with it back then. It was a lot slower, but it was kind of like a glory time. So I'd like to go back there and do a return to glory with this car. Now, I'm only going to do testing too, and I don't think I'm going to go do brackets unless I'm feeling confident that the carburetor problem is gone. But as well, they'll be filming me, so hopefully they can film this car launching and do a bunch of other cool stuff, make a cool video of it like later. Like, these guys are really good with production and all this and that, and like, you know, editing me. It's just me and using like with Windows Movie Maker editor, so it's kind of not as nice. So anyways, I'm hoping to go there and that will happen, and I can finally you know, say I'm back in Naperville again and figure out the car problem. And maybe after that I might race again. I don't know for sure, but there's still some racing left up here. It is getting colder, but I'm hoping to maybe race again if the car problem or whatever that ignition cutout. No, I guess it wouldn't be ignition. It would be fuel problem is gone and I can actually race. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll post some more update videos when I go to the track and interlace all the sort of like in footage diagnosis stuff. Seems like people like it, so I'll keep doing it. Okay, talk to you later.